Hi, everyone. Bill Panoff here for Porthole Cruise Magazine. And joining us today to talk about the latest with Windstar Cruises is Chris Prelog, the new president. Chris, how are you?
I'm excellent. How are you, Bill? Thank you for having me.
It's nice to see you. It's been quite a while. Nice to see you, and nice to see you relaxing on the beach.
Yeah, exactly. Or hidden behind me is Seattle.
Exactly. You have a very long history in the cruise industry and actually began your career working on board cruise ships. How do you draw on that experience in your new role as Windstar's president?
Well, thanks, Bill. It's funny you ask. I was just reflecting. I joined the cruise industry on January 8th, 1998, and that was actually the Seabourn Legend in Sydney. And like most new crew members, I sort of was done with the cruise industry on January 9th, the day after, because you know as well, because you've worked on board ships too. When you join as a new crew member, there's so much going on, and the industry is just so different than shoreside. Just the focus on health and safety and all the training you have to do as you come in. It sort of needs to get some time to get used to, and doesn't take very long, and then you get into it, and you love the crew and your connection with the guests, and just that whole family feel on the ships. So that's really what drew me into the cruise line industry. And now as a president, I think having that background, having that understanding how things really work on board, having done it, is a huge benefit to me, because I can really sort of relate to it as to when we implement anything for our fleet, for our guests, for our crew, that I know how it sort of works on board. And that's been great for me in that role.
You've actually lived it, unlike many of the cruise line presidents who've never really, worked on board a ship. That's a huge advantage for you.
Yeah, it's just having that experience and just knowing the guests and knowing how they interact with the crew and how the crew interacts with each other. It's really important, because at the end of the day, we are people business, and a hospitality business, and that's what helps me.
What advice would you give someone thinking about starting a career in the cruise industry?
Yeah, that is a really good question, Bill. I think if I give an advice, is be adaptable, be open to change. The cruise industry is a very resilient industry, and the cruise industry is really also changing a lot. I mean, look at the situation everyone goes through right now. There's a lot of change. So if you're adaptable to change, and if you like to be in a people industry, connect with all different nationalities and different people, that's the industry you want to be in. There's no other industry like the cruise industry.
It's one happy family, actually.
Exactly.
Yeah. Windstar's Beyond Ordinary Care program for health and safety was released over the summer. Can you tell us a little bit how that was developed?
Yeah, it's early on during this pandemic. I mean, everyone learned so much, and we're still learning so much. But when we started developing it, we really go onto all the resources which were available to us. And one of it is the medical center in Colorado, which is the Entrance Medical Center, and we have a partnership with them. We wanted to make sure the Department of Epidemiology and all other areas are accessible to us to develop this program. And we have worked with Dr. Barron on that. And so our Beyond Ordinary Care program is really a multi-layered approach. And there is just not one single bullet to deal with the COVID-19 virus. It has to be multiple approaches. Sure. So we have taken care of our HVAC systems. We installed the HEPA filtration, but went above and beyond that and added UVC lighting technology to it, which is a proven technology to kill viruses in the air stream. So we have actually installed that now on the Wind Spirit already. It's also being installed on the Star Breeze, and all ships coming back from this out of service period will have that infrastructure in place. And then you increase your cleaning protocols. You add new programs to how you sanitize areas, the testing before guests come on board, mask wearing for everyone on board. Just all these layers will add up to a full sort of health situation. And that's what we have to do. And that's Beyond Ordinary Care.
The first of Windstar's 3-star class ships are scheduled to begin sailing in late March 2021. Can you give us a preview of what cruisers can expect on the ships that are bigger and better than ever?
Yes, absolutely, Bill. So the Star Breeze is the first one which just completed a stretch period, or Star Class program, as we call it. We have a lot of new amenities. First of all, with 50 brand new suites added to the ship. We've got 2 additional restaurants added to the ship. One is the Quadra 44 Spanish Eclectic Restaurant by Anthony Sasson. And the second one is an alfresco outdoor dining venue, the Star Grill by Stephen Reichland. Stephen Reichland, the barbecue guru in the United States, has partnered with us on that. And then we have a much larger, completely redone spa, fitness area, open pool deck, and open pieces as well. But not at all, we didn't stop there. We had the veranda completely redone. So the entire interior of the ship is essentially new. And we have got, of course, new engines and a new technical platform as well. So there's a lot on offer for our guests.
So essentially, it's almost like a brand new ship, unrecognizable for those who were there previously.
Exactly. It is. It's a pretty exciting project, and we're really looking forward to operating this ship.
Are there any plans for new builds in the future?
You know, we are so busy right now with actually doing the Star Legend and the Star Pride in the Star Plus project. So right now we don't have any plans for new builds, but you know, this is also a very busy time for us. So one never knows.
The expanded ships all have new engines, which means better fuel efficiency, obviously, and reducing Windstar's carbon footprint. Is that a priority for the company going forward?
Absolutely. So we have really taken that priority very serious, which is, you know, these new engines are Tier 3 engines. So they're the most efficient engines you can put in. And we've taken out 30-year-old engines, which were obviously built to a very different standard. But we also have done other things, like we are applying a special silicone hybrid paint to our hull, which just improves efficiency because there's less drag from the water. And we are seeing great results from that. But then we're also doing, you know, a number of other initiatives like, you know, underwater maintenance all the time, from propeller polishing to hull maintenance, you know, to improve in-water performance of any of our ships. And then you have, of course, you know, consumption mitigation efforts as well.
Are you exploring any other environmentally friendly initiatives beyond that?
Well, we have, for example, another initiative which we are changing all our stern tubes on the propellers to new seals, which will prevent any sort of leakages into the ocean, because it's a system where the leakages are controlled if there's a leakage, or should we say, which is going back inside the ship, and then can be addressed there.
Awesome. News reports are the COVID vaccine could be on its way sooner rather than later. Will you make proof of vaccination mandatory for Windstar guests going forward?
It's certainly a discussion we're having, Bill. At the moment, we don't have enough information about the vaccine still available to us, and when it actually becomes available, we've certainly talked about it. I think it's a little too early to tell because there's a lot of you know, medical information to come forth, and also regulatory information in ports and countries, and also the Cruise Line International Association will have a say in that. So a little early to tell, Bill.
Got it. Windstar is known for, and I've said many times, the very laid-back atmosphere on board. How do you plan to keep that atmosphere on board with the new health and safety protocols in place?
You know, you're absolutely right. It's a laid-back, very casual atmosphere on board, and that, you know, one of the things we're focusing is to keep that. And you know, many things are just going to be the same. The ship size itself, right? The ships are sort of the outdoorsy, laid-back atmosphere. You know, our crew is going to remain the same, but there's also, of course, things which will change. Like, you know, guests will have to wear masks, and there will be, you know, rooms will be managed with physical distancing or social distancing capacities in mind. So some things will change, But I don't think that the atmosphere itself will change because the structure and how the cruise is set up is going to remain the same.
There are some people that are still a little reluctant to book a cruise in the future. What would you say to them to get them on board a Windstar cruise?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I think it's really to look at it that the cruise industry is a very adaptable, a very resilient industry. And frankly, the cruise industry, voluntarily shut down its operation at the very beginning of the pandemic, and
Sure.
Windstar shut down even ahead of, many others. It's really when the cruise industry comes back, guests can really feel that this is a safe, safe operation, and they can enjoy the vacation. It is highly adaptable and resilient. I truly believe that, when the new protocols are all in place, it will be a really great vacation to do.
Gotcha. Chris, it's certainly a pleasure speaking to you, and we appreciate all the information to update our viewers regarding Windstar Cruises. And we're very excited to sail again, and excited to sail and do the Porthole Windstar cruise as we did a year or two ago. We loved it.
Yeah,
and can't wait to be back on board.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bill, for having me, and it was a great pleasure to speaking to you.
My pleasure. Bill Panoff here for Porthole Cruise Magazine with Chris Prelog, the president of Windstar Cruises. Thank you.